fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city, you wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.
Good morning, everybody, here on this Wednesday, May 10th, on the 440 Sports Show. Sam Torres here from Ashtabula's only morning sports talk show. As we're going to go through some of the scores from yesterday, a lot of baseball, a lot of softball, a lot of sectional work getting done yesterday on the softball side of things, and on the baseball side of the diamond is teams trying to kind of button up those conference championships. And yesterday we had a lot of great baseball played right here on the network. If you didn't get a chance to watch the show yesterday or Power Hour, just kind of an update in that right now at the district level, we won't be covering. Let me make sure we've got some sound. Yes, we do. All right. Right now at the district level, we're not going to be covering the OHSAA playoffs just yet. Once we get into the sectional, the sectional rounds, you can look forward to some coverage right there. There's still a lot of regular season baseball and softball to be played right now. For what it costs, one of the things we're priding ourselves on right here at YSN is the value that we're providing. You know what I mean? The value that we're providing when we offer you that pay-per-view pass that we put on all postseason games. So, that $10, like, for instance, that $10 during basketball is going to get you 5, 6, 7 games a night most of the time. During football, it's the same thing. And, as more teams are playing, you're getting more and more for that. Whereas right now, you may only get, 1 or 2 playoff softball games. It's not really a great value for you guys. Some of these games are ending early as well as, sometimes the matchups aren't necessarily ideal for some of the teams. So they end up, going really, 5 innings, that sort of thing. So it's just not a great value for you guys either. So for that reason, district level softball, district levels of the OHSAA tournament, not going to get covered yet. We're still going to be covering a ton of regular season baseball and softball as that stuff's going to continue. Some of these schools are actually going to continue after the tournament as well because they have to put a button up or they have to button up the conference. And we've got some out there. I'm still very curious. I have not been given an answer yet as to, how these schools are going to deal with, teams that are going to go deep into the playoffs, because the additional hurdle that you have in baseball and softball is graduation. I mean, we're at May 10th. A lot of these seniors are done going to school here any day now. And then graduation's happening right here in under a month as we're going to, bid adieu to some of the seniors of this 2023 class. So, it's going to be an interesting thing to see how are they going to be able, well, they're going to, no matter what. Like I can tell you without a doubt, you're going to have teams that are going to, they'll have to play for the conference unless they do ties and stuff. And obviously in this one, I'm referencing heavily Fitch and Canfield. And the reason is because both of those teams are very, very good. And both of those teams in separate divisions, mind you, look to go pretty far into the tournament. So for me, one of the most interesting thing is, when do you play those conference games in between tournament games? Because I can see the coaching side of that not wanting to do that. Like, you're not going to throw, back to back to back to back. I know there's no limit in softball, but limit or not, like, you gotta kind of watch. You know what I mean? You got girls out here throwing 400 pitches a game. Doesn't matter if it's overhand or underhand. If you're throwing that many, the body's going to start to feel some of that, some of the wrath of you putting it through that. So I'm really interested to kind of see how that's going to go. And there are other ones out there too that are doing the same thing. So, and baseball is going to start running into that as well. Although baseball gets that additional week. So, this week they'll have time to button things up, but there are schools that, for instance, I covered St. John and Matthews last night. St. John able to get a win, and their next game is against Bristol. Well, they need 2 games against Bristol. So 2 games against Bristol, and then the tournament starts on Monday. So it's there's Mother Nature has really, really put a damper on a lot of things here. Before we get going into the scores, let me get on about this one real quick. The second annual Emilio Parks Hoop Classic. You guys have till May 24th to get your team registered. Emilio Parks is one of the best basketball players that's ever touched a court out here. Went around with an international career, coming back to give to the city, to give to this area, holding a basketball tournament on June 24th. So with June 24th, he's going to hold this basketball tournament. He's looking for some teams to get back and entered into this. So you don't have to just be from Ashtabula. This is a call out to all the areas. Come on up here. It's going to be a really fun tournament. Looking to get maybe some, some of the fresh graduate teams are pretty fun to watch. So those are some of the teams where he's looking to get in there. You bring your own team, put it together. You got 7 players maximum. Your deadline for registration though, May 24th. So you can contact eParks at eparks8@yahoo.com to register. I'll make sure to reshare this poster onto all the Facebooks or on all the social medias. That way you guys can kind of get the idea of what's going on there. But yeah, the second annual Emilio Parks Classic, that one happening on June 24th. You're going to want to get out there on, it's at Lakeside High School. So that one should be absolutely a blast. We were able to cover it last year as well. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun this year. We'll be providing some broadcast time to it. It's just going to be the championship games though. This will be a much longer day than that. So you're really going to get your money and get some good run out there. Go out there and get you some run. All right, heading on over here. We're heading to the scoreboard right here from ysnlive.com. Once again, I'll show you guys how you get here. It's not very hard. You go to ysnlive.com, head over here right to the scores tab. And bing, bam, boom. You're right here, and you have the key and the ticket to all the scores from the YSN umbrella, almost 70 schools where we can get these guys reported. Starting here on the baseball side, it's Southern Local over Lisbon, 13-0. Cardinal Mooney goes 11-0 over Cheney. That's a conference game, I do believe, for those two teams. Struthers goes 6-0 over Hubbard. Lowellville in a very close one with Mineral Ridge. Mineral Ridge going on top, 14-13. This is the game I got to cover yesterday. St. John versus Matthews, and St. John comes out on top on this one, 8-2. Now St. John 8-0 in their conference right now, 12-4 overall record. Getting ready to take on Bristol. Bristol is the team that knocked them out of the tournament last year. So there's definitely some bad blood there. They're looking forward to this one. They can essentially lock their place in as an NAC champion on Thursday if they are able to beat Bristol. This being the first year that the Heralds have joined the NAC, what a way to kind of announce yourself into the conference. They're looking to, they've already won a championship in volleyball, looking to do this on the baseball side of things as well. Ryan Williams and Will Anderson were the players of the game in that one. And it's the first time we've went with a co-player of the game. And the reason why we went with a co-player of the game is because they both did so much in the game. Ryan Williams was lights out on the mound, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs. He also had 3 RBIs, although he was walked an absolute ton. And Will Anderson on the other side from behind the plate goes 3 for 4, 2 absolutely huge clutch runs in this one. As, at this point, Matthews had gotten it within 2. Anderson gets up there, lays an absolute laser into center field, right between the center fielder and second base. 2 runs score, and the game started to go away as they go into the 7th. I was able to get those kids to talk to us a little bit after the end of the game, so we're going to run that right now.
All right, I'm here with the first co-players of the game of the year, the sophomore duo Ryan Williams and Will Anderson, after a huge victory over conference opponent Matthews tonight. You guys get set up for a big game on Thursday, but tonight, Ryan Williams, we'll start with you. 9 strikeouts from the mound, and you were throwing heat out there. What was going on?
Well, against PV, we walked a lot of guys. I was trying to live in the zone, make my pitches, let my defense work, and played great.
Yeah, you did a really great job tonight. Had the batters all over the place. Basically a complete game as you go almost all the way into the bottom of the 7th. And Will, from the plate, you step up and get some RBIs at a clutch time right there at the end. Bases are juiced, and you started off with a rougher start than you would want to go. What was going on for you today?
Yeah, the team was really hot coming out of PV. We had a lot of hits, and we brought it into this game, and I knew just had to get us started and let it roll into the team, and that's what happened.
All right, what can we look forward to when the Heralds take the field next on Thursday against a very tough Bristol team?
We're going to keep hitting. We're not going to let it stop, and defense is going to work on a couple things and keep the ball in front of us and just come out strong.
All right, guys, you see it. The players of the game, sophomore, the duo, Will Anderson, Ryan Williams. Good job today.
All right, that was Will Anderson and Ryan Williams, both of those young men sophomores, and that sophomore class pretty loaded up with talent. St. John pretty loaded up with talent in general over there, and the end of the game. It was a great game, and they'll take on Bristol, and I'm really interested to see kind of how that one's going to end as well. Moving right along, though, we're going to go Alliance 9, Fitch 5, as Fitch having some trouble here at the end of the season. They were pretty much on fire there for a good point, and a couple back-to-back losses, and Fitch getting ready to go into the tournament. I guess if you're going to take the losses, right now is the one to do it. You don't want to do it next week. So if you got to kind of, get the rust off and figure out some things, this is when you're going to want to do it. Boardman falls to Howland 4-3, and that Howland team is a team you're going to get to see right up here in the area as they are set to take on Edgewood in the first round during the sectional time. That's going to be a game on Monday. Again, not broadcasted, so I guess you're going to have to get up and go check that one out. Canfield goes 10-7 over Salem, as Salem has had a strong, they've had some losses here, but they've had a strong outing against some very, very good teams this year, including Canfield. Warren JFK and Rootstown. It's Warren JFK big in this one. 10-2 over Rootstown. South Range goes 10-0 over Girard. Heartland Christian goes 18-4 over Latonia. Jefferson 13-1 over Conneaut as Jefferson gets a late season win there. LeBray 23-0 over Campbell Memorial. Poland 15-6 over Niles. 14-1 is Southern score over Lisbon, and Edison goes 7-1 over Minerva. Moving over here to the softball side of things, you got Triway going 6-1 over Hoban. Ursuline with an absolutely huge 22-1 victory over Cheney. Getting a lot of runs scored in that one. Howland goes 15-0 over Niles. West Branch 7-2 over Kenston. That one, I believe, is a sectional game. Just based on the geographical locations of those teams. If I'm wrong, let me know. Edgewood gets a sectional win here as they go 6-4 over Crestwood. Cognac falls to Harvey here, 7-6. Perry and Salem, 10-0. Perry finding the dub here. Hubbard goes 11-0 over Youngstown East. Girard 12, Struthers 1. Berkshire goes 15-5 over Campbell Memorial. Grand Valley and United meet up, and it's all United. The Golden Eagles go 19-1 over Grand Valley. LeBray goes 11-7 or loses 11-7 over Southeast. Cardinal Mooney and Crestview meet up, and it's all Rebels. 19-9. Crestview is going to win this one. PV in a sectional game here wins their first one, and in a big way. 10-0 over Liberty as the Laker girls continue in the OHSAA tournament. And Mineral Ridge, hold on to your hats, folks. This one's a big one. 20-10. Lots of scoring going on in that one right there as the Rams beat up on Lowellville. And we'll move over here to the standings page. Again, check out these standings pages. This is where you're going to want to go out and find out where your teams are standing and where teams are standing within the conference. And as you can see, Canfield and Austintown Fitch are still in first and second place here. But you know what? Before we go through the rest of those, I kind of jumped ahead of the schedule here. Let's go to our first break. Because when we get back, we'll talk about the standings for the rest of the conferences, as well as the games that are coming up today. This is the point of the show where I remind everybody that we are the 440 Sports Show is brought to you by nobody just yet. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for advertisers. I'd love to get Ashtabula businesses right on here. All the way down from Akron to Lake Erie now, you're going to reach, as we have well over 70 schools and way over 70 demographics when it comes to getting your product or your business out there. This is truly regional broadcasting at this point. Also not to be overlooked is the fact that you're able to help kids, because we take all the funds that we get from the advertisements and the sponsorships, and those are what make the gas, what moves the bus here. We take all of that stuff and, that goes into our broadcasts, our shows, our events like the YSN All-Star Game, the Combine that's coming up here in late July. You've got the volleyball preview. All these different things are fueled by advertisements and sponsorships from local businesses like you. So we'd love to get you on here. Ashtabula will make their appearance here sooner than later. I can promise you that. But we'll go to our first set of breaks here. And let me pull that one up. We're going to start off with our friends from Toyota of Warren. Tell you what, if you're ever down in the East Palestine area, make sure you're looking out for that Toyota Tundra. Beautiful YSN Toyota Tundra driving around town.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Hi, I want to tell you about my Trish Yearwood home collection available at Sheely's Furniture. With 2 locations serving Ohio and Pennsylvania, Sheely's is one of the country's top sellers of my home collection. And the best part? At Sheely's, you never have to wait for a sale. They offer everyday low pricing as well as a price match guarantee, so you can shop the Trish Yearwood home collection with confidence. Come see my collection with something to offer for every room in your home and get it all with free local delivery, only at Sheely's Furniture.
All right, welcome back here, 440 Sports Show, as we are going to run through some of the standings from our teams right here on the network. And another time to remind everybody that if you don't see your team on here, we're not covering your team. We'd love to cover your team. We're always looking to grow. The YSN umbrella is a wide one, and we've got plenty of room. So that can be easily fixed by simply reaching out. Have your administrators, your athletic directors let us know that, hey, we want our YSN. And if you guys come knocking, we will come rocking. That's where it'll be. That's as much as it takes. We sign on with the schools, and at that point, you become a YSN and YSN school, and you get the 100% free additional promotion, additional coverage that's offered right here on the network by a bunch of great people. Contact me on any of those social medias. You can go to ysnlive.com. You can email us any way you can reach us. If you're seeing this, you know how to reach us. Jump out. We'd love to get your school to be a part of this YSN umbrella. All right, heading over here again. We are on the AAC. We're going to go over here to, let me make this one the big one. That's what we're going to do. All right, over here to the Buckeye North. It's still Indian Creek and Edison right there on the top, both baseball and softball. And Eastern Buckeye. The Eastern Buckeye Conference, it's Alliance on top here, 9-2, 15-3 overall. Carrollton 7-3, and you got an overall record of 19-3. Marlington goes 8-0 on the softball side with a perfect 20-1, or perfect conference record of 8-0 and a 20-1 overall record. 5-1 is Carrollton behind them, and 13-8. Over here into the EOAC, it's Columbiana on top here, 10-0 in the conference, 14-9 overall. United is 7-4 with a 10-10 record right there in second place. Over on the softball side, it's the same deal. 10-0 in the conference are the Columbiana girls, 18-2 overall, 8-2 though for the United Golden Eagles girls softball team, 13-4. In the MVAC, it's Crestview 11-2, 14-4 overall. You got LeBray, who's 11-2. You got LeBray, who's 11-2 and 19-3 overall. Moving on down here to Jackson Milton, who's 15-5, 10-2 overall, and McDonald, who is 11-2 and 16-4 overall. And that's an interesting one there, as I would almost think that Jackson Milton would be McDonald would be in first place, as same amount of losses, but with one more win. Over here on the softball side, it's Champion, who's 12-0 and 19-3 overall. Brookfield's 11-2, 16-4 overall. McDonald 12-1, 15-2 overall on the softball side. Western Reserve 11-1, 14-1 overall. As we head over here to this NAC, which has not been updated since last night, and I can tell you that St. John at this point 8-0 in their conference, with 11 and 12-4 overall. Matthews now becomes 7-1 with a 14-3 overall. Big game right there to kind of swing things. PV goes 11-0 in the conference. They're going to lock that one in as an NAC champion this year, 15-4 overall. And on the Chalker side of things, 9-1 is their conference record with an overall record of 12-3. St. John just 1-4 with an overall record of 3-6, and Chalker and St. John set to meet up in the first round or in the second round now of the sectionals, as St. John was able to get that win over Warren JFK. Over here in the NE8, it's Lakeview 11-2 in the conference, and 17-2 overall. Not quite done yet, as South Range still has a dog in the fight with a 9-3 record and a 16-4 overall. And Poland not technically out either, as they're 7-3 and 11-8 overall. Lakeview is in the driver's seat, but they have some people that are right on their tail. South Range on the softball side of things, though, they lock it in. 13-0 in the conference, 20-3 overall, and they are going to be your NE8 champions this year. Over here on the Portage Trail, Warren JFK, 9-1 in the conference, 14-4 overall. That one loss that Warren JFK has does come to the second place team in Lake Center, who is 8-1 and 16-4 overall. So that'll be an interesting way to see how that one ends. Rootstown is 7-0 and 13-4 on the softball side, and Mogador 4-1 and 14-3. Over here in the Steel Valley, you got Ursuline 3-0. They are 11-7-1 as they head into the tournament. 1-1 for Cardinal Mooney, and 7-10 is their overall record. On the conference side or the softball side of things, it's 2-0 for Mooney, who's 5-3 overall, and East, who's 3-1 and 5-7 overall. Make sure you guys head over to ysnlive.com as you come here and just check out all the beautiful stories being written right here for the, all the various teams. It's been a great website so far, for years, and it's a great one to use right now. So head over to the website. You can find all kinds of great information right there. There'll be some upcoming stuff coming from a lot of the teams up here are going to start getting some stories on there as well. So that'll be fun as well. That's all I got for you today, folks. Actually, I'm sorry. No, let's talk about the games that are going to be on the network. Let me get that pulled up here for y'all. All right, today's games. Once again, like I said, not covering sectional stuff. We're gonna jump back into that game during the district level. All right, Wednesday, May 10th, you're gonna have on the network baseball side, Southern Local taking on Cheney. That one is going to be a 4:30 start. Ian O'Brien on the call there. You got Canfield at Boardman at 5 o'clock. The man, Ty Bartell, going to be on that call. Heartland Christian's taking on Salem with Derek Rhodes on the call. Lisbon at Columbiana with Joe Usibo on the call there. Western Reserve at Lowellville. Eric Hughes going to be on the call there. Those are all 5 o'clock starts. South Range at Lakeview with Cooper Schiavone on the call. Ursuline at Austintown Fitch. That one is going to be at 5 o'clock, and you're going to have Matt Maurer and Jordan on the call there. Southern at Cheney, game number 2, Ian O'Brien on the call there. That one got set to start about 6:15 in that doubleheader. That is it for baseball. On the other games going on today, Chalker at Garfield, that's a 5 o'clock. Crestview at Beaver Local is a 5 o'clock. East Palestine at Springfield, 5 o'clock. Jefferson at Poland, that's a 5 o'clock. Louisville at West Branch. 5 o'clock there. Steubenville at Edison at 5. Wellsville at Latonia. Matthews at McDonald is canceled today. McDonald will be taking on Waterloo at Waterloo, though. Over on the softball side, non-tournament games going on today. Girard at South Range at 5 o'clock and Hubbard at Struthers also at 5 o'clock. Playoff softball happening today. East Canton takes on Jackson Milton at 5 o'clock. Lakeside at Austintown Fitch at 5 o'clock. Lowellville at Western Reserve at 5. Mineral Ridge at Badger. You got Solon at Hoban. Or no, I'm sorry, you have Louisville at Hoban because Louisville, I believe, just beat Solon at 5. Boardman at Walsh Jesuit. East Liverpool at Steubenville. Maplewood at Southern. You got Ashtabula St. John taking on Chalker at Chalker. Newton Falls at Springfield and Cardinal at McDonald. All those games set to start at 5 o'clock. So a lot of great stuff going on here. A lot of games on as today and tomorrow should be a really, really fun one. And that's going to be today's show. This is Sam Torres. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
This for the football. This for the football. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the football. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the football. This for the football. This for the football.